Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia. Welcome back to the TNT podcast, episode 146. Thank God I was uploading an Elden Ring episode at the time, so I can just pull up.
I was getting ready to be like, "Ha, he doesn't know the number."
It's been a minute. It's been about a month since. It's been exactly 1 month since we uploaded the last episode. Apologies to everyone for taking so long, but we're old men now. Life gets in the way, Ed boy. Life
You got some good Timpedia gameplay content in there.
Yeah,
like,
look at that. Me and Aiden have been successfully playing Elden Ring since the last one. And we'll talk about that more in the Watched and Played, because Aiden has put an ungodly amount of hours into that
game. Yes, sir, I have. I am somewhat of an expert, if I do say so myself.
Speaking of games, though, we only have 3 news stories, and only one of them is really an actual news story, really. So, out of the blue yesterday, CD Projekt Red goes, "Oh, hey, everybody, by the way, we're developing a new Witcher game."
Yeah, right.
And all they did was show a logo, which looks definitely not like Ciri's medallion and not Geralt's. There's no way it's Ciri. That would be silly. Why would you think that?
Wait, hold on. Real quick, I heard people whining that this isn't going to be about Geralt. Is this true?
That's
probably they've been saying
that's what I literally just said. That's what I was.
No. I get you're alluding to Ciri being the main character, but like I heard rumors like Geralt. Like I didn't finish 3. I don't know if Geralt dies in the end of 3. Like he's just straight up not in this. Is what I heard people getting mad about.
Preferably yes. At the end of 3, preferably Geralt would not be the main character in this.
Oh damn. Okay.
I mean, he's an old man. He's gotta retire.
He's over 130 or some crap.
Let him chill, guys.
He's had white hair a long time.
We don't need Geralt again.
No, honestly, I would, considering playing Ciri in Witcher 3, I would love to play a Ciri-based game, like with her power set expanded. Especially,
I really hope that's exactly what they don't do.
Really? Why?
You know what want? I want Witchers in their prime. That's what I want.
That's also, I want a prequel, not a sequel.
Oh,
so the reason that I don't want Ciri, right, is because the entire lore behind Ciri is that, like, she's just the most broken person in the fucking universe. Like, she can literally control time and space. Like, she's got infinity stones, bro.
She's got elder blood, my guy. Come on,
like.
So, like, would it be cool to see like a crazy like magic kind of shenanigans with time and space and zappy bolts and whatever?
That's
fine,
bolts.
But like, I don't know, man. I just don't feel like the whole point of like being like the Witcher series, right, is like they're monster hunters. It's rough and tumble.
I mean, to be fair, the point of the Witcher
basic
series,
magics and all that other shit.
The point of the Witcher series was to play as Geralt. There's never been a game not about Geralt. I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying. I'm saying the fact that it's a Witcher logo that's covered up in snow, like, pretty heavily points to one of the endings of the main game.
I don't know. It looks like a. This might be what's his name? The guy from 2.
The guy
from Vesemir?
No.
I can't think of who else you did.
The King Assassin guy.
Oh,
the other Witcher from 2.
I have wasn't he in 3?
He could have been if you didn't kill him in 2.
Well, I didn't load a 2 save, so I saw him in 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
because he belonged to the House of the Cat, and this almost looks like a cat medallion.
That's fair. No, the only thing, the only reason this is actually a news story, and so obviously, it's a news story to announce the game. No title, nothing, just the logo, like I said. But they also announced that they will not be using their proprietary internal engine, which is called something I can't remember, like Red 4 or something.
Red Engine.
Yeah. They instead are switching to Unreal 5, which everyone goes, man, Cyberpunk's development must have been fucking miserable if we're gonna go to a new engine after putting all this time and effort in. And they also clarified the weirdest statement ever. the upcoming Cyberpunk expansion will still be developed on our internal engine, and it's like, well, what the fuck else were you gonna do? Of course you had to develop on the same
We're just
engine
gonna
the base
convert
game is
Cyberpunk
on.
to Unreal 5. That's what we're gonna do. No biggie.
So yeah, I just thought that's kind of wild that they're just ditching this internal engine that they used for, I believe, Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, right?
I mean, I
didn't
think
hear
they've
about
used it for
Cyberpunk.
most of their games, if I'm not mistaken.
What do you mean you haven't heard? Tyler, this is literally the Cyberpunk engine. I don't what?
Oh, I thought you were talking about for Witcher 4.
No. I'm saying that they've put all this time into developing this internal engine, and now they're just like,
Oh, yeah.
nah, Unreal though.
I mean, it does help a lot. Like a lot.
And once your developers can use Stack Overflow to solve their problems and not have to do it entirely internally, like,
Yeah.
it fixes a lot of common
say,
issues.
They immediately, so because their press release was like, this partnership with Epic Games will allow us to do great things, and everyone went, holy fucking shit, are you exclusive to Epic Game Store? That would be the weirdest fucking thing when you own GOG.
That would be weird. Yeah,
And
so that would be very weird.
They clarified like instantly. They were like, we are not even considering store exclusivity at this time.
Yeah, that would be shooting themselves in the foot.
That would be the strangest, dumbest thing.
Yeah. Never ever.
But yeah, so hey, new Witcher game. I hope I get to play it someday. But I gotta play Cyberpunk first, you know?
Yeah, 15 years from now.
Yay.
Yep. I don't know. We can go to the next thing.
Yay. Oh, this is a game that's coming out soon, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's in 3 days from now. This is coming out for Switch.
Oh, that's
So
even sooner than I thought.
Yeah, so the Kirby demo came out like 3 weeks ago. And I jumped into it kind of late, but there were 3 levels included in the game. First one's basically just tutorial. Second one's a full-on level, and third one's like a real level. And I'm playing through it, and after the first level, I'm sitting like, oh no, this is a baby game. This is not hard. I literally don't know the controls, and I was never at risk of getting hit in level 1. I'm like, this is stupid. So I do level 2, which is all about the new mouthful mode. Pretty cool demo of it. Again, I was never in any danger. So I'm like, all right, if this is just a baby game, this is gonna suck. Like I want to have actual fun with this. So then I roll into level 3, and level 3 is like, oh, you want to have some fun, right? And level 3 is like an actual real Kirby level. So it restored my faith by the end of the demo that like this will be a fun game where I have to actually pay attention to what's going on screen, not just mash A to win. Like
not mash
another
A and just move
Nintendo
right.
franchise. Yeah. Hey man, Kirby required some kind of thought. Maybe.
Well, the older ones did, yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say the original one for Game Boy. I think it was on NES, but the one on Game Boy.
Kirby Star Allies, on the other hand, that was upsetting.
The older Kirby games are more fun. I want that kind of challenge, but there's... Anyway, point is, this is fun. After playing the first 2 levels, I was a little cautious, because I feel like this game might be a little too... I want to put this politely.
No, don't.
Mentally uninvolved is how I want to describe this. I don't want to turn my brain off and play this. I want a game that makes me think about what I'm doing. So I'm probably not going to get Kirby at launch, even though I was really excited for it when the trailer first came out. I'm going to hold off and see what everyone else says about the gameplay.
Yeah, I still need to play the demo. I keep forgetting to fire up Michelle's Switch to play it.
I was very disappointed by the last Kirby game, so
Yeah, Star
I'll
Allies
pass.
was terrible.
I know. I kind of just want to sit down and play Kirby 64 again, and that's about it.
Crystal Shards.
Oh.
Yeah. The idea, was it like the combining different elements and different hats was my favorite part of that game. It made no two levels play exactly the same.
True.
Replayability.
It's cool.
Anyway,
Yeah, we'll see. We're talking about still sticking with Nintendo. We're talking about this shit. Pokemon.
yeah. So I want to talk about it real quick because we've complained at each other a lot, but I need the viewers to understand.
Are we
the rage train.
already done with the Kirby trailer?
What else?
Yeah.
Did we
Yeah.
set
What else
our-
did I
we
say?
set our
Like I
piece?
played it. I talked about each level.
Just
I'll
making
say,
sure.
did you play it?
The
Did
fuck?
you?
No, I don't have a Switch.
Okay, so then.
Wait, hold on. What happened? Where is your Switch right now? Is it in
It's
Philadelphia?
literally right behind me, actually, and the unplugged from anything, but it's in the box right behind me in my office.
Damn.
It's free. Anyway, speaking about stuff that lives rent free in my brain, the Pokemon trailer came out. And it suffers the same problem Game Freak usually has, where they're like, we need to show these really beautiful scenic panning shots of our low poly grass again. And they did it again, and everyone lost their fucking mind saying, look at how beautiful this is. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, this is the same footage. It's literally the same footage as the Sword and Shield trailer. Same engine, same grass, same fields. It just doesn't look British this time. And I don't understand it. I don't understand how everyone's eating up this hype cycle.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's bad. I mean, they're all old you. They want to believe. They want to believe that a good Pokemon game can come out.
Dude, I'm sitting here
Can't
with a
even
whole
say that with a
internet
straight
talking about
face.
how Legends Arceus, the game that I gave up on the franchise on, is the best game in years. And it's like I don't know what to trust anymore.
Trust that it's gonna be bad.
I think
That's
you're
what
right.
you can trust.
The fact that I
mean-
still haven't beaten Sword and Shield is proof enough to me that I don't need to buy another game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pro the nostalgia bit, but whatever. Anyway, Pokemon trailer's out. New starters shown off. Everyone is screaming how they don't want the fire cat to go on 2 legs or whatever. Same shit that happens every 2 years with this cycle.
Yeah, no, it's I mean, we're pretty late to this because what? It came out like 2 weeks ago
3
or
weeks
something
ago,
like
so it
that.
came out the week
3
after our
weeks
last
ago?
episode.
Yeah,
But
and,
what would our podcast be if I didn't whine about Pokemon at least once?
well, you
Like,
got
we used to talk about Overwatch, now I whine about Pokemon.
yeah, it's like it's kind of funny, right? Because even my buddy Mike was like, "Oh yeah, like why would they even bother putting this out? Like what is the point? Like look how bad this is."
The internet tells them it looks good, so they're just like, okay, well,
Nintendo
this is
has
clearly
never
we're doing
shown
this right.
self-awareness.
Yeah, seriously.
They're in a feedback loop. Everyone praises them for this shit, so they just do it.
No, it's Freeman. It's not even that. It's the money feedback loop.
Yes,
They
that's
make
what I'm
a new
saying.
Pokemon game, they get the money. They make a new Pokemon game, they get the money. That's the cycle of Pokemon.
I hate this. I hate this.
Yeah, it's you know what, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna really affect me. I'm not gonna be playing these games, so
Yep.
you know.
I know, but I want to one day play that Pokemon game. The one that's just going to be so magical. And it
Let
hurts
me-
knowing that it's just
let
not,
me
it's
tell you
not going to
something.
happen.
Let me tell you something. I have been chasing the dragon since Gold and Silver, and
Yep.
I only got it back when they remade Gold and Silver,
Oh
and
man.
I haven't had it since. So you should just give up.
Just give up.
Just
Got
give
it.
up.
Words of
Yep.
wisdom.
That's my words, man.
You know, really funny reference. I'm gonna tell the story of what Freeman pulled in the Codenames game.
Oh,
Oh,
That was hilarious. So, real quick for context for everybody, if you don't know what Codenames is, it's a board game where there's a whole board of random words, and there's a team captain for 2 teams, and they have to pick a word that is supposed to lead the players to words on the board. And me, Freeman, and Val were on a team against Tyler, Leslie, and Leslie's boyfriend. And the words gold and silver were on the board for our
the words
team.
heart and soul
Heart and
were
soul,
right next
that's
to
what it
each
were.
other.
We're right next to each other. So Freeman just looks at me and goes, Johto. Johto 2. And I just point, after looking at the whole board, I'm like, heart, soul, and just boom, boom.
If they weren't next to each other, I don't think you would have gotten it.
and I missed the entire thing because I was too busy being upset.
Yeah, you were
The
too
whole
busy
time.
being mad at your team letting you down.
No, I was too busy mad at everybody thinking I was crazy. The lights were on. The lights were on.
Oh my god, this.
Yes, I wasn't crazy. The
Aiden,
lights
have you
were
heard of
on.
this story of the lights thing?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
I thought Tyler had
give
started
everyone
saying
a
this
little
around you
refresher
guys
here.
at work.
Yeah, well, no, because Aiden doesn't come to the office ever. Actually, he came to the. He's been in the office since I've been there. What, 3 times? Now,
Yeah,
2 of them
then
was
2 of
yesterday
them
and
were
today.
yesterday.
Yeah. So behind
Yeah.
you at Fabio's desk, right? There's a light that doesn't shine, right? Like it's fucking dark.
Right.
And last week, one of the lights was on over in the corner. And I walk in, I'm like, yo, it's fucking bright in here. And Mike's like, no, you're weird. And I'm like, no. Something's weird about this. And I'm like, it's definitely brighter in here. But for some reason, I couldn't like put two and two together because, like, I don't know, the whole place is a blur when you go in. And so the next day I show up and I'm like, no, this light was off. And Mike was like, no, the light was never on, Tyler. You're crazy. I'm like, no, absolutely the fuck not. The light was on, Michael. He's like, no, Tyler, I'm telling you, the light was off. I'm like, I know what I saw. I know what I saw. And then we go all hang out for Leslie's birthday on Thursday, and we're all playing code names, and these fucking guys are telling me that about a rule. I'm not gonna go into the rule because it's too long-winded. And they're like,
Had to do
we
with extra
never,
guesses. That's all that matters.
yeah, extra guesses, Tyler. We never played like that. I'm like, I'm about fucking lost it. I was like, no, absolutely not. This was how we played it. We always played it like this. And they're like, all right, fine, look it up. I'm like, all right, I will.
And Tyler was right.
Did.
We'll admit, Tyler was totally
I was right. The light was on.
In everyone's defense, Tyler was right, but holy shit, this rule is not codified correctly in the book. Like, you got to go reading to find it.
True.
And Tyler, let's be honest, it's not like your team would have pulled it out anyway.
Yeah, you're not wrong. We were having a rough night.
The quote unquote super team of you.
I told her that would happen at some point. I was like, watch, you're talking all this shit. One day we're gonna lose very poorly. I didn't know when that was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna happen.
But yeah, so Aiden, during this game, as soon as Tyler finds the rule, he goes, guys, the light was on, and then he tells us the light was on.
No, he didn't tell us the story at first. For like a good 5 minutes, you just kept saying the light was on, and we're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
and you just would look at us and say the light was on.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like some psychotic shit you would do.
Yeah, the light was on.
I kept looking around. I'm like, my lights are on. What is this about?
Fucking hate it.
We just looked at each other like, what is he referencing that we've all done before? The light was on. What light?
I was literally losing my mind. I was literally losing. You guys were watching me unravel. Like,
you know what's making me lose my mind? The fact that the Pokemon trailer looked like such ass. There we go.
What do you mean? It looks as bad as all of the.
No, I thought you were gonna say it looks
terrible, dude.
I thought you were gonna say it looks great for a GameCube game because that's what I said the first time I saw it.
Bro, GameCube looked way better than that.
XTL Darkness is better than this shit.
I think you're misremembering how good. Some GameCube.
Man. Twilight Princess looked way better than any of the
Luigi's Mansion 1 looks better than this, my guy.
Compared to the average GameCube game. Don't cherry pick the good Nintendo art style and graphics.
Pokemon is their largest franchise. Yes, we're gonna compare it to the best games in the GameCube.
Oh my god! All right,
they don't get off scot-free.
As it should be. What the fuck,
Freeman? It's the Pokemon Company. They've gotten off scot-free for fucking a decade now.
And that's the problem.
Yes,
anyway,
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on to Twitch, I guess.
I want to talk about VTubers real quick. So last month, Ironmouse, a VTuber who I did not think I would ever give a shit about, but because she collabs with Connor from Trash Taste so much, I was just getting shoved clips and clips and clips of her before she blew up. And now she's the most subbed Twitch streamer thanks to a month-long subathon. It's very weird to have been a fan of the top streamer when they were small. This is an odd sensation. Anyway,
all right, you freaking hipster.
Whatever. Point is, it's sparking huge
much worse now.
It's sparking huge conversation ever about the legitimacy of VTubers. And I think it's hilarious that the second one gets big, everyone's mad.
Stay mad.
Yeah, but the big crowning achievement, wanted to call it Ironmouse here. That's all I wanted to say. Gotta simp somehow.
Gotta simp.
God damn it!
I hate it.
Hey, speaking of, no, I don't know how to.
Yeah, no. The thing is, like, Ironmouse, she is a Western VTuber. It's not like Hololive, which is based out of. Fuck, I can't find the sound.
Damn.
We barely even heard it. You're like cutting out a little bit, so it was like weirdly distorted sounding.
I think the problem is when I talk too loud, Discord ups the range that it wants to listen to sounds for, so I had to get real quiet.
Wow, Discord sucks. That's crazy.
Before I talk about the Weeb shit.
There you go.
And let's talk about stuff that you should be watching. First and foremost, biggest news.
Jesus.
to come out of last month was
Oh
that
my god, I
Funimation-
forgot this happened already.
Yeah, this happened after the last episode. So Funimation is like, all right, we've decided Crunchyroll is the big boy, so we're gonna merge into them. And then Crunchyroll just explodes and it's like, yes, all the shows are on Funimation. We're getting all of them with a tiny asterisk that says like, we're not getting like 30 shows and they're all really good shows. So most stuff has moved over at this point. The general consensus, everyone's saying you should just cancel your Funimation subscription right now. I unfortunately am a big loser and started watching Zeta Gundam, which has not moved on to Crunchyroll yet. It's still Funimation exclusive.
Damn,
So I still have to pay for
bro.
this.
Damn.
Or sell the 7 Seas.
You should just
Either way,
do the latter.
Either way, Funimation
It's
announced
like, no,
starting.
I gotta support the merger. I gotta pay for both still.
Well, in Funimation's defense, I still have like I prepaid for a year and it goes until the end of June, so I have until then to figure out how I'm watching.
Whoa,
Zeta
wait a
Gundam.
minute. They said that rolls over into Crunchyroll.
If
Didn't
you
they?
currently have a year, if you currently have a subscription to Funimation, you can get up to 1 month free at Crunchyroll.
Only a month, no matter how much is left?
Yes,
What?
because because Funimation isn't going away. You still have access to Funimation until your subscription ends.
Oh, they don't cancel. Okay.
It's not like
That makes
the
more
remainder of my year long goes towards Crunchyroll.
That's
It's
what
just
I thought
if you
was.
have a Funimation account, you're given a month free of Crunchyroll. Anyway, what was I saying here?
The merge.
Something about the titles not coming over. I forget where I was
yeah,
getting
because
here.
you said Gundam doesn't come
Oh,
over.
yeah. No. I remember what I was going to say. So starting with this upcoming simulcast season, Funimation is not getting any new simulcasts. All new shows are going Crunchyroll only, and Funimation is now basically this legacy streaming service for the time being. So, interesting times. Moving on, let's talk about something that happened this week. Brand new news. So, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 came out in the United States on Friday. I went to go see it on opening night. And I was sitting there like awestruck, real happy. And then I turned to my friend, who's a huge Jujutsu fan, and couldn't wait 3 seconds after the credits started rolling to go on Twitter to see what people were saying. And she's just in shock. I'm like, what is it? She turns to me, she's like, the series director's leaving Studio Mappa.
Oof.
And I'm just like, why the fuck did they announce this like the night of the US premiere? Like, what? Like, what kind of anti-hype is this?
No. We know the exact reason. Because
Anti-hype.
Japan doesn't care about things that happen outside of Japan.
Facts. Big facts.
You're
True.
leaving so much money on the table. Let people watch this. Get excited for season 2 before you tell them, hey guys, it's not going to be anything like season 1.
Who cares?
Yeah, Freeman.
That's
That
what
movie.
they
Freeman, what are you
say.
talking about? That movie's not opening day. It's been in. It was out of theaters 3 months ago.
I know, but it's not out on Blu-ray in Japan yet.
Oh, let me
And
ask
regardless,
you.
this guy was going to announce it, but to
Does
do it,
American studios care about Japanese releases? The answer is no.
I don't know about that. If I wonder, because let's be real here, Disney's the movie industry, and they'll do anything to get their movies in China. But I'm curious what their release pattern looks like for Japan.
Look it up. You can all look it up.
I mean, the flip side is with movies, usually it's much more simultaneous. Like, literally coming from, like, media leaving America. Like, look at even video games like Elden Ring, released same day. Movies tend to release usually within a month, tops, I feel like, or same weekend. I feel like it's not usually that big of a delay.
So the problem is it depends on who the publisher is. So like a lot of these Japanese publishers only do domestic films, and
So what you're
anything,
saying
anything
they're
international
idiots
is
who
like.
don't post it online. Like the
Well,
main
it's that they
Abyss
have to
movie.
go through someone else. Like they have to go through Funimation or Crunchyroll, and they for some reason they're weird about working with other companies. Whereas like Disney and Sony all have branches in their regions that handle this. They don't need to work with different companies.
I just will not understand how this is such a problem in the digital age. Like back when you had to ship film around the world, sure, I get it a lot more. But like
it's because they still believe that Blu-rays are the only way to purchase media.
Well, no. I'm saying in the movie theater, like being in the age of delayed releases, like yeah, sometimes something goes wrong, but how is it so hard to not just launch at least within 2 weeks of the same window around the world? I'm sure there's reasons. I'm sure I'm sounding like a big idiot, but like it blows my mind in the digital age when it's just all digital projection.
I mean, I'm legitimately convinced. If you watch any videos about the way Japanese corporate structure is, it's a nightmare, and I'm convinced that's what causes this.
So we go back to my point about Japan
That makes
not
sense.
caring about.
Yeah,
anything
no,
outside
I
Japan.
think this is just a Japan problem, and I have zero evidence to back up this claim.
God, why do we have to
Listeners,
watch? Why do we have to watch
start
so
writing
much
in the
anime?
comments.
We're really shooting ourselves in the foot by
All
liking
right, so
anime.
all right, we'll go real fast because the rest are all just minor announcements, not real ass news. So let's rapid fire this, shall we?
One of these is sort of new. Yeah, go for it.
All right, so we'll go. So Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 confirmed. We already knew it. The entire, I think, Studio Bind was formed with the express purpose of making this show. That said, there's a bit of staff bleed from the studio who are going to Studio Mappa to work on Chainsaw Man this year. So the question of how much the staff is staying the same, are they going to delay it until Chainsaw Man is done and then get the Season 1 staff back together?
Chainsaw Man, which doesn't even have a release date yet.
It's supposed to be this year. That's all we know. I'm hoping
all this hype for nothing.
I'm hoping that come June we know it's going to come out in like winter season, I guess.
I just, like Tyler alluded to, I hope Chainsaw Man is actually good considering this ridiculous amount of hype that it's been getting.
I mean, as someone who read Volume 1 of the manga, it's got the same appeal that Jujutsu Kaisen has, so it's going to be at least entertaining. The question is when it gets beyond that Volume 1 and starts differentiating itself from like the starting scenario, will it follow through? And given all the memes I see about what's her name, Mahi, this show is going to be it's going to be a contention for waifu wars of that particular season.
I was going to say for the season because according to Giguk, we've already figured out the one for the year. It's Marin.
So it's probably Marin, but everyone's screaming about how, and we'll get to the end of the Weeb shit, but like next season has a lot of potential waifus in it, mostly because it's a lot of sequels.
Well, we'll get to that part.
We'll get to that. Anyway, this one's for friend of the show, Luigi, but Spice and Wolf,
friend of the show,
after having no announcements for years, is going to get another season. They did not confirm if it's a reboot or a continuation. It's looking more and more like a reboot. For anyone who hasn't seen Spice and Wolf, it's a really interesting story. It's before light novels decided to explain their synopsis in the title. But Spice and Wolf is about this. It's like picture medieval times era shit. And this guy is basically he's a merchant. He's going around trading. He's talking about how like trading and politics work in the like medieval world. And he meets this fox girl. And I'm not going to describe it anymore. But it suffers from early 2000s anime syndrome where it looks weird and it's very slow for no reason. So it could honestly use the reboot to get some more attention on it. Regardless of what it is, I'm going to watch. I saw season 1 and 2. I thought they're kind of, don't tell Luigi I said this, they're kind of okay. So I'm hoping for a more high quality adaptation of this because like the actual subject matter of like, there's like a whole plotline where he buys these suits of armor, then suddenly the war ends and he's like, well, how the fuck do I sell armor when no one's fighting? So like it had interesting plot lines you don't see in other shows. So I'm interested to see more. Next one. I haven't played the game, but Tyler and I talked about this game a lot on Saturday. But Nier Automata is getting an anime adaptation.
About goddamn time.
This is usually a bad thing, but A1 Pictures is working on it.
A bad thing.
I'm completely serious. I have not yet to see a video game anime adaptation that was good.
Speaking of which, we'll talk about one that's happening very soon in a few minutes here.
Like the last one I watched, The World Ends With You, a show that I personally was begging for an anime adaptation for, was fucking terrible in anime form. So I learned my lesson. Video games just don't work in anime. So we'll see what happens here. It seems like they have an idea. Moving on. Oh, damn, I didn't know they had confirmed a date for it. Overlord Season 4 is coming out in July.
Let's fucking go. That's why I put this. This was the first news story on here. July. Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited.
Very nice. I wonder if so it's going to come out just like right after, to transition to the next one, right after the Isekai Quartet movie, which they confirmed for June 10th. We already knew we were getting a movie, we just didn't have a date until now.
I can't, dude. So did you watch the trailer, Freeman?
For the Isekai Quartet?
Yeah,
well,
they had one of those little
trailers.
PVs. Oh yeah, the Overlord trailer is whatever. I mean, I don't care what it looks like. It's gonna be shitty CGI, but I'm gonna fucking love it. Isekai Quartet movie is the entire group gets isekai'd together to a different world again.
Are you fucking kidding?
This is retarded.
This is amazing.
It's the most amazing idea for an isekai movie.
This is why anime sucks.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. They're parodying a parody here. This is
how far down the inception hole can we go?
The scary movies. They're timeless.
This movie, I'm so hyped for this movie. I would go to this movie alone. Even if Val doesn't want to go to this movie, I'll fucking go to this movie. I don't care.
I'm just shocked it's going to be like a feature-length film. This is a show that has 10-minute episodes. With like an A part and B part sometimes. So I have no idea.
It's going to be so dumb, and I'm going to love the shit out of it.
Maybe I'm just being an old man and I don't like anything anymore.
You're allowed.
True. I am allowed.
Look, we don't like this show because it's quality. We like the show because it's fucking stupid.
Dude, I think it's funny as fuck most of the time.
No. I like it because it's stupid. Like,
Yeah, but
it's a positive thing in my mind.
No. But I think there's a noticeable distinction between like good stupid and bad stupid. Like you can see things that are like really quality. They're dumb and goofy, but they're still done well.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
mean, the
part
problem
of the
is-
joke. I mean, that's why me and Aiden love fucking Misfit, because Misfit gets the joke.
I mean, the problem is I'm coming at
Yeah,
it
I
from
fucking
the
love it.
perspective of someone who sat through and watched all of Attack on Titan junior high school and realized that the show is the same thing. So I came into the show with a negative bias, and it's beating it. It's doing it better than the Attack on Titan version did, but it's still like, to have another show that's doing this concept again is just yeah. Those are my thoughts. Anyway, that's it for Isekai Quartet. Next one, I didn't even see this news, so Tim, I'm assuming you would put it on here.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
I
guess-
threw this on because this is literally just a, like, someone on the staff or one of the directors or something tweeted, Mob Psycho 3, it's gonna come this year. That
It's
was
called
it.
Mob Psycho 100.
Well, it's season 3, which I didn't even know they had material for, because season 2
know, I
ended
was trying
so
to be-
cleanly. Yeah, I know, you're trying to be pedantic about the number.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mob Psycho 103. Anyway,
I just figured you'd be super hype about that, Freeman.
So this one, we weren't sure if it was going to actually land this year, because like they're wrapping up Vanitas. By the way, it's Studio Bones who does this. They're wrapping up Vanitas right now. They just came out with the poster for Hero Academia season 6.
Oh yeah,
So
they
they've
did.
got that running, and as per tradition, it's going to be 26 episodes.
Ugh.
So the question is, like, did their B team already start it, or are they going to start it after Vanitas is done? Because I was under the impression that Vanitas was the A team that does.
Vanitas should be
Hero.
done, basically.
Yeah, they have what, like 2 more episodes?
Yeah, it's fucking close.
So it should have wrapped production like
Let me check.
last week, maybe. Anyway,
Um,
point is, it was we were unsure when it would come out, but it's like with the current schedule, I think it's going to end up being like a Q4 anime this year, which I don't mind. I can wait. Mob Psycho is a good anime. I'll wait as long as it takes for another season of this one. And then Tim, should I swap the last two, or do you want to just jump
yeah,
right
you
into
can
it?
swap the last two.
All right,
Like, that's a
last
little
two.
more of a discussion.
So we'll
thing.
talk real quick about what the fuck is going on with Attack on Titan. For anyone who is not in the know, it seems like the final episode, which is not coming out next week, it's on a 1-week delay because there's some other broadcast event in its time slot. Japan deprioritizing Attack on Titan. What is this nonsense? The final episode looks like it's going to be a flashback, and it's going to be set up, and it's going to be slow, and it's only going to adapt 1 chapter, is what all signs
Oh
are
my
pointing
fucking
towards.
god, you're right, because the.
And as of this moment, I believe there are 11 chapters remaining to be adapted in the series, which means there's not enough for a show, and there's also too much for a movie. So everyone is speculating: are we getting the movie? And someone's like, "Oh, are we going to have Attack on Titan, the final movie, Part 1, coming this fall?" And it's just like, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Now, okay, Freeman, here's a real question. So, for those who I don't remember. I already forgot if you said this. So, if we followed the original schedule, next week would have been the last episode of the season.
That's correct.
We're going to be waiting a week because for whatever dumb reason, there's a delay by a week, whatever. So we have to sadly wait 2 weeks. But hey, we'll finish Attack on Titan final season part 2, and then do the podcast 2 days later, theoretically.
Yes, it will line up with our next episode. My
question is, if this delay was not announced at the start of the season.
It was announced like 4 weeks in.
My question is there already promotional material and stuff banked and set up ready to go for next Sunday, or are they successfully going to hold off until 2 weeks from this past Sunday, to do the announcement of what's happening? Because we are not going to end that episode without knowing what is happening.
Yeah, I guarantee you the ending shot is going to be movie confirmed or some garbage. But that's the way they typically work, is until the episode shows it, all other media is just completely shut down. Like,
okay, that makes sense.
How do I put this?
No, it's a media blackout until the episode airs, and then
pretty much.
okay.
If they show something at the end of the episode, that is the first time anyone is going to see anything about this. It's not going to come out first. So I guarantee you, April 3rd, we'll know what's happening with this show.
Okay. Makes sense. And then, so the last thing I threw on here was just, as not even to do like a full preview or anything.
No,
but
it's only like 10 shows right now confirmed so far.
Yeah,
but we can blitz through it.
Crunchyroll posted their article today saying, hey, here's what our spring lineup looks like. And there's some bangers on here for sure. I think everybody's...
all bangers.
Yeah, I think everybody... Yes, I would agree, except I still haven't watched Kaguya-sama. But I would say the biggest hype show from everybody for this year. Also, none of these have dates yet, which is so fucking stupid, except for like a couple, but the big four don't have air dates yet. I think the most anticipated show of the season, Spy X Family, which even Val is interested to watch.
So I didn't even know which studio was doing it. I knew it was Cloverworks, and I knew this is shown in, I think it's Jump Plus runs it, so it's got the brand recognition, but all the trailers look great.
Yeah, so this is just, it's a family of an assassin, a spy, an assassin, and a telepath come together to create a fake family and uphold world peace is literally Crunchyroll's tagline.
What an awful description for this.
But, you know, it sounds like a neat concept, so I think Val and I are going to be watching it. And then one that I know Tyler, Freeman, and Val are all going to be hyped for, Kaguya-sama Love is War Ultra Romantic.
Yes,
Hell
I'm so
yeah.
excited. They got the same singer to come back and do another original song for this.
Hell yeah, dude! I'm
ready.
ready.
Maybe I need to
I'm
finally
ready.
give this show a real chance. Oh, also, this is
It's
A1
romantic.
Pictures, which is pretty good.
It's worth it. It really comes into its own as it goes on. But yeah, super hyped for this one.
Possibly the most fading hype humanly possible. Shield Hero Season 2 is supposed to be this season.
Yeah, something's
Well.
rising. It's not the hype levels. This took so fucking long. Like, I want to remind everyone, like, Pandemic had just started when we got Season 2.
Season 2
And
and 3!
confirmed at the same time, and there's been radio silence since then. We only recently got new
shittiest
footage in any of the trailers.
The shitty,
Like
shitty,
4
shitty
trailers
trailers.
deep.
Oh my god.
Anyway, hopefully the new plot line is compelling.
We'll see.
It's been a really long time.
And then probably Val's most hype show, if not Kaguya-sama, Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 3.
Oh, let's go.
Actually
I'm so hyped
can't
for
wait for
I
this.
fucking
I'm
love
really
this
pumped
show
for this.
so much.
This is compared to Shield Hero, this is my most hype returning show for sure.
Isekai of the season right here.
I mean, probably. I don't even know any of the other ones. And then I was alluding to, so the only other thing in this top shows list that I know anything about, the other two I don't know fucking anything. I'm not going to watch this, but Shenmue the animation is starting on Saturday. It looks like it'll be Sunday releases on Crunchyroll because it says airing Saturdays. Maybe it's coming out Saturday nights. I don't know. But Shenmue, the video game anime, is coming to Crunchyroll in the next few weeks.
I'm kind of surprised given
How much
Watching
the other
flop
games
Shenmue.
sucked.
3 was a flop.
Maybe
There's so
someone
much
was like,
nostalgia
"Hey
for the
man,"
first one.
maybe someone was like, "Hey man, you have this story, and people actually still remember the names of the characters in this story. No one wants to play these fucking games. Why don't you finally turn this into a movie or an animation or something?" And he went, "Okay, I'll do anime." So maybe they're trying to finally save the franchise.
There is no saving that franchise.
No, there isn't.
It really isn't. Like, also, I never really cared about it, so I mean, I could just be jaded about it.
Shenmue is just really, it's a tedious experience at
It
best.
looks dated.
And I don't
if
even mean,
anything.
I don't mean the gameplay.
Damn.
It's just tedious.
Freeman, is there anything else that is supposed to be?
You talking about from the new simulcast section?
Yeah. Oh my
Soul
god, the greatest Demon Lord is reborn as a typical nobody. Wow, that
I
just...
know, it's like they're just playing word randomizer with these titles.
There is literally nothing else that seems to be a sequel, but they say that there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 shows they still haven't announced.
Yeah, they're probably getting everything. We're reaching monopoly status here.
But yeah, literally nothing else has name recognition, and to be frank, I don't troll for new shows. I just wait to see Mother's Basement and Gigux videos, and if there's anything that seems interesting out of that, that's all that's what I will
So
give it a
I'll give
shot.
some early thoughts. First of all, A Couple of Cuckoos is going to be the weird show this season that everyone loves.
The
I'm going to read
weird
the
show.
I want to read the Wikipedia synopsis to you guys. So-and-so, you don't care about his name. It's a 17-year-old second-year high school student who learns that he is not the biological child of the family that raised him. On the way to his first meeting with his biological family, he meets this girl who's a popular internet celebrity who is trying to escape from an arranged marriage. Later, they both discover that their parents had accidentally swapped the two after their births and were now aiming to put them into an arranged marriage. So to facilitate this, the families bought a home that these two need to now move into together. It's This is the
Can we just get-
Weebs want to get married show.
Can we just get Tony Kawa back, please?
This is our substitute.
No,
Yeah, to
I
the
don't
moon,
care.
baby.
Let's go. I just want Tony Kawa. This is nothing. This isn't even comparable.
I too want Tony Kawa.
Look at even
bullshit.
jaded old man Tyler
Even-
is like, give
even
me the
jaded-
give me the
yeah.
sugar into my veins. I need
Yeah.
this.
I need my weird alien space girl. That's 200
Tyler, we
years
don't
old.
know if she's from the moon or not.
She's. I don't give a shit. Tyler Lore is.
I bet Val
It's
can hear me through from upstairs, and she's like, "Oh, they're talking about Tony Kawa. I heard she's not from the moon."
Oh my god. Next one, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. My friend and I used to watch every soccer anime, and they all fucking suck. But this one, Awashi. It's by Production IG, who's like known for doing sports anime well. I am definitely going to not watch this one when it comes out and listen to reviews.
I'm definitely not.
Every time I watch a soccer anime, it always sucks. And like I want a good one. It's so easy to do a soccer anime, and everyone always fucks it up for some reason. And the big one.
Apparently, Mappa is doing a show called Dance Dance Danseur.
Yeah, I'm not watching this. I love Mappa, but unless it's one of those where, in retrospect, like a Uranus type show where it was just so good you have to watch it regardless of your interest in ballet. I don't really want to watch a ballet anime.
Production IG working on Legend of Galactic Heroes, more stuff.
Yeah, they're getting more of that. The big one, the big thing in the list no one's talking about here, and by no one I mean everyone's talking about. Shikimori's not just a cutie. This one, her, she is waifu of the season. People are calling it now. That's all I'm going to say. This is one of those shows where it's just the entire plot is the female lead is super eccentric and you are going to love her. And that it's this type of show. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't know, dude.
That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
won't. I'll say that
Oh no, Marin's best girl.
Marin's that show's been pretty good.
But the throne is open to being
The
dethroned.
throne for the season is open.
Want the season for the year. Marin's girl of the season. Hard to confirm. No competition.
I mean, do you think someone's gonna come along and top Marin? I don't know.
Absolutely not. I still need to finish catch up on Sabi Hibisco, but the waifus in that show don't have this kind of oppressive energy that Marin has.
Oppressive energy.
Yes.
Speaking of oppressive energy, you know what's oppressive? I'm oppressed by the amount of time that Aiden has put into fucking Elden Ring.
Why do I have to be attacked like that?
You don't have to, but you're being.
Yeah, because you don't watch much anime, so we gotta put you at the forefront here.
Yo, true. I don't watch anime.
He doesn't watch anything because he plays Elden
play
Ring.
video games.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wants to be the Elden Lord.
Ring.
That's why.
Excuse me.
You mean I am the Elden Lord?
No.
Implying I'm not already.
I am the Lord of Frenzied Flame, my friend.
Oh, I apologize, sir.
Fuck the Elden Ring.
Oh shit. Apologies.
Ty, you will address
yeah.
me by my real title.
Yeah, right. You will address me by my title.
Yes, sir.
So how was it, Aiden? How was the journey?
I basically didn't stop playing that game until about yesterday.
What do you mean
And
stop
when I say
playing? You're not
stop
done. You're
playing,
still playing with
I
me for the
mean-
LP.
Play a little bit less.
Does it say you're still playing it at this moment on Steam?
No, I am
Oh,
not.
no,
playing
sorry,
it
that's two of my other friends, my bad.
Absolutely not. No, it's so I have 5 different characters. My main has 170 hours on it, and the remainder of my characters have between 3 and 10 hours. Kind of in a nice spread out range. So needless to say, I've sunk in a tremendous amount of time into this game. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it for a minute. This is an 11 out of 10 game, and it is my favorite FromSoft game.
Damn.
Basically, it's literally all of the good things about all of their other games put together in a masterfully presented package. PC port sucks ass. So if you're gonna get it on PC,
Damn.
you're gonna have to. Sorry, it's true. Like
Oh,
the
that's so
optimization
bogus.
on
I'm
it's
just-
fucking
I'm just
dog shit.
shocked it's bad.
Actually, it's not an optimization issue. So apparently the problem is It's something to do with like the compiling shaders, right? Like if you ever played Call of Duty, you know, they have the little loading bar in the top and it's like caching shaders and all that other shit. That's so it can load assets really fast in case, you know, if you didn't, just so that you know, that's why that loading bar's there. What Elden Ring does is that it compiles it whenever the object is loaded. So if you load multiple objects really quickly at the same time, it doesn't matter what fucking graphics card you have, your shit just chugs.
Oof.
So I don't know when they're gonna fix that. They haven't mentioned a fix for it yet, and it would be nice to have a fix for it. But even with that being said, it barely mars what to me is like almost a once in a lifetime experience for a game. Like I was legitimately sad when I made it to the end of the game and I looked at my map and I had all my things completed and I didn't 100% it, but I got pretty close. I got a lot of stuff. I would say the majority of it. At least 51%. Uh and like I was like, man, that this is like legitimately an end of an adventure. Like I'm not gonna get this experience again. But I enjoyed every minute of it. And if you are at all interested in playing or getting into these kinds of games like the FromSoft games, this is the one to do it, and I highly recommend playing it. There you go. I said my piece.
Do it. There it
It's a good
is.
game. It's a good game.
There's the review. Y'all heard it from AIDS himself.
Do you recommend it as someone's first FromSoft game?
Absolutely.
Mm.
They're like the freedom that you have in this game allows you to like when you get stuck in a wall in Dark Souls, you're just at the wall until you overcome the wall. Like everybody quit on fucking Ornstein and Smo because you have no other way forward. You have to either beat that boss or you're not getting any further in the game. Having the ability to just turn around and say, fuck this, I'm going to go do something else right now and I'll come back to it later is just like it makes it far less frustrating.
The only thing I want to add on to what Aiden's saying is you can start here. I don't know if you can go back if you started here.
It's one of the it's the Persona scenario.
It is literally like
Yeah, probably.
It is literally like saying Breath of the Wild was your first Zelda game and then going back to like fucking not even Ocarina, going back to like the NES ones. And that's to say that the fundamentals are the same. The combat is still effectively the same, but like when Aiden says you can get on your horse and go somewhere else, you can teleport across the fucking world because there's like zones that are as big as an entire 3 zones in an old Dark Souls game.
And I mean that
you physically do not have it. It is not the same type of game.
Gotcha.
It is the same pieces assembled onto a 5 times 10 times bigger puzzle, and when you take all those pieces away, it's just not you can't go back down. You can't build a 1,000-piece puzzle and then be like, ooh, this 5-piece puzzle is really good. When you started at the 5-piece puzzle, you're like, ooh, now I have a new challenge, now I have new options. So that's not anything I'm not infringing on the quality of the game at all, but you definitely couldn't go back.
I somewhat disagree with that, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna chime in just because like after Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 came out, everyone was super hyped to play Demon Souls, which is arguably an older iteration of the same gameplay style. So I'm curious. Is just Elden Ring is just that much better than these were compared to Demon Souls?
I don't know if that's a fair comparison, because comparing Blue Point's remake of Demon Souls to the old Demon Souls,
I mean,
are they that different?
Aside from graphically and like frame rate wise,
from what I've seen, it just seems like fundamentally
the game is identical. All of the movesets are the animations for the moves are different, but the timings and how the moves work are all the same. The enemy design is the same. The systems are as they were in Demon Souls. All that Blue Point did was a graphical update.
I mean, sure, but even then, comparing Demon Souls to Dark Souls, whereas comparing Dark Souls 3 to Elden Ring, I mean, I would say that the open world aspect is such a game changer. Like, if you, there are sections like the castle. If you play through Stormvale Castle, it's called Stormvale, right?
Yeah.
Stormvale Castle in Elden Ring, and you just play through that section for like, because you can just get lost in there for like an hour. I need to go back there and probably do more shit.
You do. There's actually a boss you didn't kill in there yet.
Of course. I actually, I'll tell you, Aiden. Since we recorded on Saturday, I took a little bit of time to basically try to 100% the bottom peninsula, so I could at least have some part of the game that is completely fucking donezo. And I started at least trying to track down Sites of Grace, even just in Lingrave that I had missed, just to try to get some completeness done so I can have some areas where I'm like, there is nothing active to do here. I don't need to come back here except just to enjoy myself. But anyway, that section of the game is much more along the lines of an old Dark Souls game where it's a very well-crafted dungeon. And I would actually say that it feels so mean to say this, but I just feel like it's this curse that game developers go into by developing an open world game is just reused assets. And it feels really weird to be around reused assets in a FromSoft game because everything has had such a handcrafted feel before. I'm not saying everything was perfectly, every inch was developed from the top down or from the ground up, but like you climb a tower in this game and every tower is exactly the same. And you come across, Aiden, we were talking about, I think in the recording on Saturday, oh, there's the house model.
It's like individual areas just kind of lost their uniqueness because of this.
Yeah, and again, you couldn't build a game like this that's open world without doing this. I'm fully aware that there's a reason Oblivion did it, Skyrim did it, Breath of the Wild even did it to some extent. Like, games this big need to have assets reused. And if they're reused well, it doesn't bother you much, and it doesn't bother me a ton. But coming from games that I had so much fun playing, where I remember, like, you could drop me in fucking any screen in Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3, and I'd be like, oh, I know where to go from here. I know exactly where I am. Whereas if you did that in this game, you'd mostly be fine. But the fact that, like, oh, I'm at this house. Well, where? It's the same. It's the same.
This could
house.
be any house.
There's the same house in like a forest in 4 different places right in the starter area, and it's the same house, and the environments aren't identical, but it's like, oh, I'm at the house in the green area. What does that mean? It just it's something that just nags me a little bit. I will say I am not even close to finishing this game, and I think it is incredible, and I think it is not the game for me that the other Dark Souls games were. That I feel like, frankly, as my time gets more limited with games, and we all know that that's going to get more limited in the near future, having a big-ass game like this is just, frankly, not something I'm looking for right now. So I'm going to be slowly chipping away at it, but, like, I almost wish this had just been Dark Souls 4, where I could have just taken 30 hours to beat it and been done and not look ahead to needing to pull 110 hours to feel like I completed and saw everything out of this game that I wanted to see.
Just
but that's not.
Brought this up, I'm in the same vein. I'm absolutely terrified that they're going to announce Persona 6 soon. I don't know if I don't have that kind of time in my life anymore.
Like, I'm thinking, like, honestly, I keep talking about recording Cyberpunk. I'd still like to. Am I going to finish the Cyberpunk LP this fucking year while I'm still working on Elden Ring on top of my job and my family and everything?
Well, I mean, you just talked about stacking a 160-hour RPG on top of a 100-hour RPG.
No, I know, but Cyberpunk is a game. Like, I've been excited to play Cyberpunk since that first trailer dropped at E3. What, 6 years ago now? And
I
like
think longer than that.
It probably. I'm pretty sure.
was
Yeah,
2012, I think.
10 years since they announced Cyberpunk. I've been wanting to play it, and now that I finally have the PC, have the desire, I don't have the time anymore. and it just sucks. It really sucks to be like, man.
I mean, you could turn your kid into an anime protagonist.
Oh God. Anyway, we've been on Elden Ring a long time. We've been on Elden Ring a
Easy.
really long time. More LP
Easy
coming.
money.
Me and Aiden are still recording the LP. Episodes are releasing every week,
Right.
hopefully. Me and Aiden are trying to do like one weekend session every weekend.
Yeah, I'm always down, bro. I'm always
I know you are.
down.
I'm trying to find availability.
I mean,
You got availability?
That's a Tim problem.
I'm
You got
aware. I'm not blaming
you got
you.
availability, Tim. You do.
Do I? Tyler, do you have
do.
availability? Huh?
It's called be a deadbeat.
Ah, there you go. Wow.
Easy.
I mean, everybody
Easy.
else does it.
Speaking of
Like,
deadbeat,
Yeah, everybody else
some of the
does
characters in TAC.OP Destiny are pretty.
Oh, good lord! Finally, I can talk to someone about how
Yes.
awful this anime was.
Damn, that's so.
This was a walking gotcha game ad for a gotcha game that got
Sure.
delayed and isn't out yet.
I think Tact is not as bad as you described it. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I don't regret watching it. It had good music. It had pretty great animation. I'm not going to think about it anymore, but I do not. You make it sound like you Freeman, didn't we compare scores and you're at a 5 and I'm at a 6?
Did I leave it at 5 or did I lower it? Hold on.
If you went either way, we're talking about a difference of 2 points here. And it's just funny because you have.
Oh no, I ended with a 5 because it was.
So we're 1 point different. And I'm like, it was fine. And you're like, man, this was a bad anime.
Because everyone hyped it up like it was the second fucking coming of like the greatest animation ever, and like outside of maybe 3 fights, the rest of the show had like there were the moments like the jazz episode in the speakeasy was
Hell
nice,
yeah.
but honestly, it had the same problem. I remember there's one show. It's called Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress. It was basically Attack on Titan, but not literally same studio, same director, same guy doing the soundtrack.
Oh, I like
And it had
that
the problem
show.
that they
See,
introduced,
Tyler?
and it had the problem that they introduced a villain, and the villain was awful. And this show did it, but they did it twice. Like,
Oh,
both
yeah. I'm not going to
villains were
defend the
awful.
villains.
And the problem is, I've seen this happen so many times that I'm kind of like, how do I put this? I'm tainted. My opinion's already tainted because once they do this, every time an anime original does this, it keeps piling onto the bad memories of the last 4 shows I watched that did the same thing. So
I'm not. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to disagree with anything you're saying. I just haven't had that experience, so it isn't as negative for me. That being said, it was nothing earth-shattering, and if you skip it, fine. If you get into it, it's just 12 episodes. I didn't regret watching the show.
also, gotcha gamers, if you want to watch an ad before you decide to play a game, this is
Also, I was
going to
say, I did make the joke. I was like, yo, Freeman, you and Luigi both have gotcha games you play. Maybe when Tact finally comes out, that'll be my gotcha game.
Damn.
Speaking of someone could talk about the show, Freeman, you finished a show that I've talked about before in here.
Yeah, so I finally finished Faraway Paladin because I'm now teleworking less. I don't get to watch anime at lunch as much anymore. But I finally finished Faraway Paladin. And how do I put this? I feel like a negative Nancy this week, but like Faraway Paladin was kind of whatever. Like it wasn't a bad show. It had a great premise, and then the second it was like, okay, go off and do your own thing, it
became generic.
It was
Freeman, this show is
very generic.
in my mind, one of the worst things about the show is that it barely animates better than that House Husband show that was on Netflix that everyone said is just
oh my
comic
god,
panels.
yeah, like,
The animation doesn't exist in this show.
Like,
I love that show so much.
Happening in these fights, like I straight up thought they were winning a fight, and then it cuts. I'm like, damn, everyone's dead, and the main character's losing it because everyone lost. I was like, and I had to rewind and like, wait, where was the part where everyone got hit and hurt? And like, there isn't. It's off screen. So like, I don't know.
They fight the dragon or the chimera at the end, and it's like a 2-minute fight. And I remember telling Val, I was like, wow, the animation's like okay here. And then that was when the fight ended. Was when as soon as I said something.
Yeah.
It's an odd show.
But it's a bean.
Yeah,
like, that was
exactly.
it.
That's why Val likes it.
Literally, the only thing carrying was that the main character was a bean. Like, other than that, it was. I don't know. Like, all right, so this is the part where I get to complain.
What did I even give it?
So at the very end of the show, there's that big scene where his elf friend is like explaining to him why everything he did was a giant political faux pas for like the
this
last 4
super
episodes.
matters.
And like it made all those scenes feel super weird because you're watching it from his perspective where he's just oblivious to everything.
Yep.
So in retrospect, it makes a lot of sense, but I don't like that they made you also in the dark, because it just made the whole thing feel super awkward, like you were confused. And the show's like, oh, what? You couldn't tell how obvious the political tension was? and it's just like.
And there was one scene where like the priest was talking to the noble, and they're like, "Oh, this is a big deal that he's doing this thing," and we're like, "Okay, whatever, bye."
Yeah, they downplay it so hard and they just kind of brush it off, but whereas it's supposed to be really
and
important.
at the end, it's like, actually, this has been a city builder sim all along. Isn't that crazy?
This was a city builder sim, damn.
But like the fact that the elf friend is just like, how did you not notice it? It was so obvious. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up. If you had to explain it to me, it wasn't obvious.
Freeman, what'd you give it? I gave it a 7. Which is impressive
Paladin
considering how terrible the. I'm kind of.
I gave it a 6.
I'm kind
because
of thinking I need to go back.
I really like. I love the premise. I didn't think there was anything.
The beginning was also
bad.
stellar.
It wasn't until the fight scenes that the animation took a step down, but like the animation wasn't anything bad. Voice acting was good. It had a premise. It has potential for season 2 to be better. So I gave it the 6 for that, but I wasn't super impressed with this.
Fair. What is this, Freeman?
So there's an anime called, and I want to get the English title because I am not reading the Japanese title for this one. So the name is Can I Make Your Ears Happy in 180 Seconds? This was an anime that released in 12 3-minute episodes where these girls discover like the 2-ear headphones and attempt to do ASMR. And everyone was like, finally, we've ascended. We're just getting paid for ASMR anime with real voice actors doing this shit. Except they kind of forgot the part that makes ASMR cool, which is audio quality. They have these girls talking into these headphones that are designed to record you in 3-dimensional sound, but it's in stereo. And they also they mute, like if they're talking in the left ear, you're supposed to be able to hear some out of the left and some of the, they just cut the right ear audio. So it just sounds unnatural and stupid for a show that's literally just about talking into a 3D microphone. So they fucked that up. And then to make matters worse, it's 3-minute episodes and the last 40 seconds are the opening. And the opening is loud as fuck. So if you actually attempt to watch this anime for the intended effect of listening to these sounds, you are hit with this blaringly loud opening at the end of the episode. So they just completely missed the mark on what the fuck this was supposed to be about. And I'm pissed. We're never going to get another ASMR anime after this.
I'm pissed. We're never going to get...
I'm livid. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. That was a waste of time. Don't waste 36 minutes listening to bad
That's
ASMR.
all I've got to say about that.
I'm gonna blow through a bunch of stuff. Val finally got me. Val and I have been watching stuff while eating dinner, and now that we're in our own house again, and Val finished her rewatch because of course she had watched this by herself. What's the full title of the Mummy show?
Oh, it's like How to Raise a Mummy or something.
I gotta pull this up. Mira no Kaikata, aka How to Keep a Mummy.
There you go.
What is with these fucking titles?
This show.
This was an okay title.
What is this? What the fuck?
Well, the show is accurate to the description.
Every title y'all
this
say...
show, all it is. Tony Kawa is like sugar for relationship emotions. Mummy is like, how can we cram as much cute bullshit into a fucking show? I have openly said to the group many times, I feel like I'm being attacked and aggressed by cuteness while watching this show. They go out of their way to make every little the mummy cries and dries himself out. He has little flower hearts that float around his head when he's happy. Like, there's if you want a show that you just throw on and you're like, that's cute, and that's literally everything you're gonna get out of it.
The only emotion you want to feel.
The only emotion you want in your life is cute. Oh, Tyler, you just added some good ones to the fucking list. Then watch this show. I gave it, I think, a 6 or a 7. There's no fighting, there's no nothing. It's literally just look at this cute shit and look at these little friends, and this is. If I was going to show my son an anime, this would be a child's anime to show him. I'm not even fucking kidding. Something we all watched, the boys all watched with Val that Sunday, 2 Sundays ago.
Yeah, Paprika.
We watched Paprika.
Oh boy, this was
weird,
this was
but
a trip and a half.
I expected it to be this weird. I did.
Tyler, what did we give it on Letterboxd? I think I can't remember.
I
rated it on both apps, which is really funny.
You'll have to see. Oh wait, do I have access to my Letterboxd?
I gave it 3.5.
So I gave it a 7. I thought I'd give it an 8 originally, but there's something that
Nah, it's too weird, man.
the problem is I feel like most like anime
I was about to say,
original
wait,
movies
you have
are
a
all just fucking
letterbox?
weird.
And
No,
then I was
no,
like,
no,
wait a
my
minute.
anime
Yeah,
list.
I tracked it on
Hate
both.
I hate it.
Um,
Why are you like this?
Why am I like what? A
In a
weeb?
letterbox. Yeah, why are you like this?
You can't just
Tyler,
ask someone
only
why they're a
you,
weeb.
me, and my sister have Letterboxd. We don't know anybody else who even fucking has
I
Letterboxd.
do. I know someone else.
Oh,
I mean, I'll
jeez.
sign up for it. We watch enough movies that I probably should.
Sure.
Anyway, going back to Paprika. Who brought this up as one of the quintessential anime movies people should watch?
Every list on the internet.
Yeah, well, we
Yeah,
watched
every
it, and it's
list.
just look how weird we are with Japanese Inception. That's
something
what
like
it
that.
is. That's what it is. Imagine if Inception was animated and weird. There you go.
Yeah.
That's not bad, but don't expect anything out of the ending either. That's not a surprise. Freeman brought up.
I don't know what it is. Japanese just literally do not want to write endings. They just don't
That's-
like it.
That's such a bad excuse.
Oh yeah, it is.
Like, that shouldn't be like, oh yeah, like this is just the Japanese way. Like, come on, man.
But like
Tyler-
life doesn't have an ending. Stories go on.
I hate it.
Yeah, me too.
Another thing that
Yeah,
me and
me
Val
too.
watched, Turning Red, Pixar's new movie that came straight to Disney Plus, no paid access or anything.
I'm surprised.
Leslie fucking loves this movie. Val liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I didn't think it was like earth-shattering, but I get the feeling from talking to other people about it that this is a show. This is not a show. This is a movie that just in general women will resonate slightly more with. That's not to say you can't enjoy it as a guy. I had tons of fun with it, but they both were like over the moon about this thing. It's
This
Pixar.
is the boys only.
Oh my god.
Boys only.
It's animated really well. It's got some good humor. It's really not like, ooh, look how cringy and hip we can be and everything like that. It's just all around good. I would definitely recommend it if you have a Disney Plus subscription because there's not much fucking else to watch on there right now, so you might as well.
Damn.
Yeah, I was thinking about watching it this weekend.
Yeah, it's a good time. You'll certainly enjoy it. I think I gave it a 4 on Letterboxd. Yeah, I gave it a 4, and I gave it a like. Unlike Paprika, which I did not mark as a like. Oh my god, I forgot to fucking. We have to add another thing to this fucking list.
Something's going on here. Like I'm adding stuff and it seems like it's disappearing. I don't know if
Tyler was adding stuff. I don't know. Anyway, now getting back to anime, Tyler and Freeman, much disappoint that you still haven't watched.
I still need to watch the 2 new
AT
episodes.
Shikso is finally done. Core 2 of Season 1 has finally ended. And boy, oh boy, did I give Core 2 a 9 out of 10, my highest possible rating on fucking my anime list.
All right, I need to know. Is it
Yeah.
because of the ending or is it because of the complete package? Of
Oh, the
second?
complete package was really good, and it's impressive that I was still able to emotionally resonate with the fucking ending 2 months after it should have been shown next to everything else. It literally all came like rushing back to watch the ending to remember where. Like I Freeman, when I tell you that I felt like no time has passed since I watched that final episode from before the break. Watching that episode over the weekend, the episodes over the past 2 weekends, I'm not even kidding. I literally didn't even notice the break anymore.
So, but listeners, if you won't have to deal with this because there's no longer a delay. But this was my patent-pending strategy. Was Tim had told me that episode 10 ends on a cliffhanger that pissed him off, and as I'm watching, I noticed episode 8 also sort of ends on a cliffhanger. So I was like, you know what? I'll pick this cliffhanger, and I just paused episode 8 until the last 2 came out. So
Yeah, and now you should definitely just binge all 4 and be done.
Well, I was going to say my viewing experience is very different because I watched 2 and then I'm going to watch the next 2. But for me, the last 4 are going to feel like not that big of a gap because I artificially
It'll only hit harder.
I artificially delayed myself here.
Tyler, you're even further behind, right?
Yeah, I'm way behind. 'cause I'm
Please catch up.
sleepy
You will not
here,
regret it.
man. I know I won't.
I know.
It's
I'm not
called...
saying. I know you're busy, but like, the
even
comparison
busy,
to
I'm just
Iron-Blooded
sleepy.
Orphans is only good or better than Iron-Blooded Orphans. I will tell you
What?
that now.
I know.
Really?
What?
You think it's better than Iron Blood Orphans?
I mean, I don't know what you're. We haven't talked about Iron-Blooded in a while. That's why I would say that it's as good or better. I mean, I think I gave them both 9s on my anime list.
All right.
All
We'll talk
right.
about it when we get there.
Yeah, no, I know. I just want to blow through some stuff, like I said.
This is not blowing through stuff.
I know there's a lot to. It's been a month.
We're at
Power
less
of the
than
Dog.
5 minutes per item. We're good.
Throwing some real normie shit, not even normie shit, just like Oscar shit on here. Me, Val, and my friend Ed watched Power of the Dog a few weeks ago. This is a really, really well done movie that I have negative desire to ever watch again, but it was really good.
I love those kind of movies where it's an amazing viewing experience that you just never want to experience again.
Yep, I will happily never watch Power of the Dog again. I gave it a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and it is. If you're in the right place to see a frankly not particularly happy movie, I don't want to make comparisons lightly to Brokeback Mountain because I've never seen that movie, but all of the lists, all of the online discourse seems to say that they are a similar vibe of not even just not just gay cowboys, but like the loneliness of and the wide openness of the frontier and kind of how that lifestyle is just different and it's not the same thing we have now. They capture that essence really well, and it's really well acted. It's really well done. And then a movie we watched for Boys Movie Night, the only one we had between the last podcast and this, because we skipped weeks. Death of Stalin.
Death of Stalin.
Absolutely hysterical black comedy. We were all of us were rolling laughing at this movie.
It was great.
I'm glad you recommended it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I would happily watch this again with other people. Like, it's just such a well-written roller coaster of like how
Damn,
everyone
this shit about to happen again.
like
Damn.
everybody is such a backstabbing piece of shit. Like the scene when Stalin dies and the first guy walks into his office and he ignores the body, runs to a safe and throws stuff out a window and tells a guy, "Take this and run."
Take it and run. Take
fucking
it and go.
Hilarious.
Yeah, no, it's funny.
Oh man, it was a really good time. Yeah, anyone who's into black comedies, I think would absolutely get a kick out of this. Kingsman Gold Circle. My sister-in-law finally got me to watch this because I had not watched any past the first one because I really loved Kingsman 1 and then I heard 2 is not as good. Spoiler, it is not as good, but it was still a good time.
Damn.
But it just doesn't. You can tell they're trying to capture the magic of the first one. Just it doesn't. It's almost that trying too hard part. And I'm now I kind of want to see the third one. Would you guys even believe that Renee is into this?
No, I would not
the girl
believe
who
for a
can't
second.
watch bloody things at all is like, yo, Kingsman is great. She's the one who came over and was like, we need to watch Kingsman together.
Wait, hold for context. I haven't seen it.
That's weird.
Is Kingsman like generally bloody?
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm asking seriously.
No, I understand. It absolutely is. I believe they're all R-rated, right, Tyler?
Yes.
Yeah, they do not shy away. Freeman,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not a spoiler. It was in the trailers. A guy gets thrown into a meat grinder in the fucking second movie, and you see the meat come out of the grinder. Like, there's his
Renee and I
feet
talked about it, and I was just like, "You're into these movies?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "So you were cool at the church scene?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, it was pretty good." I was like, "What?" Like, I don't understand you.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, but whatever. It was decent if you like the first one. I mean, if you haven't already seen Golden Circle. Also, all the Channing Tatum in all the ads for this movie was such a fucking ploy because he is barely in this movie and it's hilarious. Keeping going.
Thing is like, is he in the movie? No, but he's in the marketing material.
Much more. Yeah, exactly. Much more recently, aka 2 days ago. Everyone except Luigi wasn't able to make it to our normal D&D night, so we were browsing Netflix for shit to watch. Actually, why don't we move the other two up here, Tyler? Just to keep all of these together, since this was our Sunday night of binging random shows. So, first thing we watched was I opened Netflix and I was like, hey, we shouldn't all watch anime, even though Val was trying to get everybody to watch Ranking of Kings, which I'll talk about next time when it's over.
I was trying to get everyone to watch different anime, but we just ruled out anime.
Different anime, so it's like, let's just not do anime, because Tyler doesn't like anime right now.
Yeah.
So we go on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, there's this show, Is It Cake? And I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna put this on. No one's deciding anything. Let's just watch
I
it.
got cancer from this fucking show.
This show
Oh my
is
god, this show.
fucking terrible.
Aiden, have you seen this show?
What? Cuphead?
No,
No.
Is It Cake?
No.
Is
Is
It
it
Cake?
cake?
No.
So it's
I
literally
never heard of this.
It's Aiden. Unless you really want to fucking hate watch something, don't watch this. But fucking the whole premise of the show is they literally said in interviews, apparently, this is based on the Is It Cake videos that were hype like 3 years ago online. Like where people would cut something and be like, oh, it's a shoe, it's actually cake. And they bring together these contestants to fucking bake cakes and then have these judges like in 20 seconds determine which one out of an array of like cheeseburgers is the cake burger. It is just...
It's so cringy.
This
Like, the
is
host is a guy
stupid.
from SNL, and he's trying so fucking hard. All the people are the kind of people you would imagine when you hear "This is my life. I bake cakes that look like real things."
This motherfucker described himself as painfully single on fucking on a Netflix television.
Netflix show.
My guy. Damn, bro. Like, shit.
It's so fucking goofy. It was hysterical. We were all super ripping into the show, and then we finished the first episode, and you look online, it's like, oh, they basically let the guy who won the first episode get away with fucking cheating.
Oh yeah.
And so that taints the whole thing even fucking more. And like, it just was so, oh my god, it was not good. None of us are gonna watch any more of this.
Do not recommend.
But as a group hate watch, it was honestly kind of fun just to sit there and just rip into this shit together. Like, Aiden, you know how on cooking shows there's always like a full cast and some of them aren't involved? Like there's usually like a competition with only a couple of them.
Yeah, sure.
Each episode is based around 3 random bakers out of this group of 10 doing their baking for 7 straight hours, and the other contestants just sit on a bench and watch them from across the room the entire time.
While also heckling them.
While also being like, yo, what are you doing, buddy? Like, it's...
Literally.
Wow, this show sounds so riveting to watch.
This whole show takes place in one shitty soundstage and nothing else. Like, you could tell they filmed the show in a week and then are like, cool, everybody go home, we're done now.
Well, I mean, when your entire premise is based off of fucking TikTok videos, yeah. What are you gonna get?
Cringy. It's so bad.
Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, unless
what
you
are
seriously,
doing?
unless you seriously want to group hate watch one episode with friends, do not watch this show. What you should consider watching, and speaking of video game adaptations, we also watched the first episode of the Cuphead show.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I liked it.
The animation is crazy.
The animation is so actually completely on point, it's like scary.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to keep watching. Just like
I do too.
I kind of like. It really took me back a bit.
Yeah, I appreciate that this is. If this was even 20-minute episodes, this would be too long. I think the fact that this is like 12, 13, 15-minute episodes is the perfect sweet spot for this absolute intentional reference to old style humor.
Yeah, I like it a lot, and plus like it really tries like I mean like it's very new. Like you could tell like a lot of the like all of it's like digital and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But like
that
they try their
is
best.
So
the
good.
style is still good. Like the animation is still really good. Like they definitely carried it over from the game.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. Like if any, and I don't recommend it to just anybody. Like I recommend to people who are like into that kind of style, maybe like a younger
If you
audience.
like old
maybe.
Looney Tunes
If you were like
cartoons.
us and you grew up with Looney Tunes, then you'll probably
Seriously,
like it.
if you like Looney
Yeah.
Tunes, give this a try. You know what's crazy? I almost want to recommend this to my dad.
Your dad would probably get a kick out of it. He likes that kind of stuff.
I would want to see if he would be down for that, and if he watched it, I would want to hear what he said. But if we're gonna
Man,
go
if
back,
we liked it, he'll probably hate it.
oh my
I'm
god,
ready. I'm ready for the
Stop
disappointment.
it! Stop, Tyler. It's one movie. It's not all based on that.
I know. Well, no, he didn't. Was it him and I had a polarizing difference on Squid Game actually. He
Oh.
said the talent was terrible, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Yo,
Yeah, I
the
didn't agree with him on
talent
that one
was
either.
great," and he's
Yeah,
like,
well, I don't know.
"Nah, you're high," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Well, he didn't say I was high, but like along those
Yeah, but Tyler's
lines,
high
he
as fuck
did.
when he said it, so whatever.
That's what I'm saying. I'm blazed, bro.
So the last thing I watched on this list is
Oh my goodness.
Tyler chose to, after Cuphead show, be like, hey, this feels like retro. Why don't we go to actually retro?
Why don't we go to actual?
Tyler
Let's
put
take a
on-
trip in time.
Tyler put on the first episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I was so glad that I did. Fucking love that show so much.
You
Oh,
and Val immedially like, oh look, it's the mom. I can't believe she's around again. And like,
I don't know what you're talking about. Not
we're
at
all just
all,
like,
man.
oh, I wonder if anything happens to her. You guys are just like, no, what? That's crazy.
Dude. It was actually kind of funny because like the last time Val and I bonded over a show like that was super. When we watched those Supernatural
Yep.
episodes, we watched all those Supernatural episodes, and she was like, "What team are you? Are you Spike or Angel?" And I'm like, "Yo, Team Spike,
And she's just
Like,
like, yep, Spike
the
all the
real
way.
ones." No, listen, if y'all Team Spike or Team Angel, put that down in the comments. All right, only the real ones know Spike. All right, I'm just saying.
Anyway,
Yeah, it was
I was
funny
so
though.
split on watching this because unironically, I loved every second of it. But I wish I hadn't because my coworker's been pushing me to try to watch this for the last like 5 years. So
Oh,
I mentioned
yeah.
him. I saw episode 1. He's just been spamming me with clips trying to convince me to watch more of it. And it's like, no, please stop.
So
I don't
I will
want
say this. I don't know if you'd like this show. It is classic Joss Whedon. So like, it's pretty cool. Like you could tell that he makes fun of it, right? But it's
Yeah.
still good. Um, the first season is not good. Like fundamentally, not good. You have to watch most of it, unfortunately, though. Um, but then it truly does pick up after that. And like, I'm never usually the biggest proprietor of stuff like that. Like we've all talked about this. And the only reason why I watched the show to begin with was because I was with my roommate Trevor, and we made a deal. We were like, "All right, listen, I'll watch Buffy if you watch Supernatural." And I'm like,
What a trade.
"We're like, fine, we'll watch it." And we both watched it, and we both were like, "Wow, this is the best trade deal in history. This is the best." Except we watched both shows with an episode guide. So I was like, I'm not gonna make you watch. Was it 60 plus episodes of this show? Because we were only gonna watch Supernatural up to season 5. For obvious, and I even told him that I was like, I'm not that. I was like, I'm a crazy Supernatural fan, but like, I'm not gonna make you go past season 5. And then I think he started after season 5 after I told him not to. I don't know. And then we watched all of Buffy though. Are you guys there?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
here.
you're just
I was like,
going
dang,
at it.
We're
this
just
is
waiting for you to
oddly
conclude it.
quiet.
Fucking
Oh,
putting me to sleep.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I can just talk about Supernatural.
No,
and,
you're
like,
fine. I wasn't going to interrupt your story to make
Yeah.
you move on. I wanted to let you finish it.
Dean's muscles, you know. And I'm not gay or anything, but you know, just saying.
Big butt.
For dude. What was it? I know.
All right. So
That's
real
it.
quick,
That's all
two
I
things.
got.
So Tyler, I know I told you the next game I was going to play was going to be Nier Automata, but I needed something that was already on my Switch to play on Monday. Yeah, on Monday. So I had bought Indivisible when it was on sale, and I finally got to play it. If everyone doesn't know what Indivisible is, it's like this side-scrolling, not
Oh,
quite turn-based
yeah.
RPG from the team that did Skullgirls. So
I
it
know
has that
what you're
pixel.
talking about.
It has that pixel art aesthetic to it. I played the first like 2.5 hours of it, and it's fun. It's a unique game. I want to beat all of it because I think it's only like an 18-hour playthrough. My only gripe with it so far is that like it feels like a fanfic writer was the main writer of this
Oh
game.
no.
Like the dialogue is very weird, and it's just
Wasn't
kind
it a
of.
Kickstarter game?
I
Yeah.
believe it was.
Yeah, I remember seeing it up on Kickstarter like a while ago.
Yeah, so I'm approaching it as the story is not the reason I'm playing this game. The gameplay is really cool, and I just unlocked the full party, so I'm expecting to learn more about it pretty soon. But first 2.5 hours, pretty good. I'm looking forward to trying to speedrun this. All while in between playing Guild Wars 2, just because my guild has semi-revived and they're distracting me from beating the story, so I can't speedrun it like I wanted to. But I'm having fun playing it. The new expansion's really cool. I should have had it in the news section. I kind of threw it on the end here. They just had a big announcement today about like what the future of Guild Wars 2 is. Because for anyone who doesn't know, the most recent expansion came out. It's called End of Dragons, and with a name like that, where the whole story of Guild Wars 2 is about dragons, it's just like, okay, so is Guild Wars 2 ending? And they made this big thing about like what their plan is, how they want to revitalize the beginning content because they are prepping a Steam release really soon. But the big takeaway was they confirmed there's going to be another expansion, which is kind of big news because for a lot of people we thought this was the last expansion. Like we would maybe get an announcement in a year that they're going into maintenance mode, and then the Guild Wars 2 team is like, we're finally ready to like talk about our player count numbers because like everyone was aware like leading into expansion 2, our numbers were pretty fucking low. But since I think it's since a year, they took a year after that expansion and the current player base count, and they said we've doubled since that year after the last expansion where we boomed. So, contrary to what everyone says about Guild Wars 2 being a dead game, it's bigger than it's been in 3 years. So, I'm happy.
Wow, impressive.
It has this weird perception all over the internet the game's been dead for years, and it's just like when you play the game, like every map is still full all the time. Well, not like full. Like it's not that you can't get in. Like with Guild Wars 2, if a map is full, it makes a new one for all the overflow. And usually it's difficult to get shit done on an empty map. But point is, there's never a day where you want to do something and there's no one playing the event you want to play. There's always people playing this. So I think Guild Wars 2 is a really cool, stable place.
You know, I might go back and check Guild Wars 2 out for the expansion.
Yeah, I don't want to hype it up because it's still the same game it was.
No, that's fine, and I enjoyed the game that it was before. You know, it's like I play it and then I finish what I want to play, and then I move on to other things. Which I think that's the nice thing about Guild Wars 2. You don't have to have the subscription or anything like that. So it's like
that, and like your gear is never completely outdated. Like it's always still top tier gear. You may not have the best build for a given type of content, but your gears you come back and your shit's still good.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the last one. Tyler, let's talk about the Batman.
Oh, you mean Vengeance? It wasn't Batman. He was Vengeance.
He was
Come
Vengeance.
on.
I know, right?
Get with the program here. Fucking Christ. Overall, I'll say this was a good movie. I rated it a 4 out of 5 at Letterboxd.
I enjoyed it. It was very entertaining.
I will say, because I went with Michelle, we both talked about it afterwards. She didn't like the brooding. At least not the brooding. What am I saying? The narration right at the beginning, and I was like, like if you're a comic Batman fan like I am, I was like, it kind of makes a lot of sense actually. And she's like, yeah, I wasn't a big fan. I was like,
she didn't like the contents of the narration, or just that there was narration at the beginning?
The content of the narration. She was like, "This is emo as fuck," and I'm like, "Yeah."
But like that's how Batman.
I mean, that is Batman. He's fucking Batman.
She acknowledges it. She
like Batman
acknowledges
is cool edgelord shit.
Yeah, no, she acknowledges. What I did like though, about it, like there were a lot of things I didn't like, but a lot of things I did like was
You must have liked some stuff. You gave it a 4.
Oh, I did. Oh, like as a Batman movie, it was good. Like it literally hit all of the good Batman hits. It feels like if someone took like the Nolan movies and like it's like if they took the Nolan movies and they combined it with the Arkham games along with like some kind of like weird like, psycho killer detective movie. Right? Like if you've seen like Seven, like you might have seen some comparisons to that. But yeah, it was good. I liked it. It was a little long.
Yeah, it was long, but like I feel like
people
at
who
this
love
point,
it, I've heard it's long.
It's almost like a tradition for Batman movies now, though.
Yeah, and I get what they were trying to do. Like there are a lot of things that they didn't need, like the whole Catwoman thing really didn't need to happen. but I get why they did it. Because
In theory, you could have removed her from the movie and it still would have played out as is. But I like that she was there. She bounced off of him really well.
oh yeah, no, Zoe Kravitz is great. I like her, and she's freaking hella hot. So but like, I'm just thinking because like Michelle brought it up. I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. Like, unless she played like a more integral role, like something I don't know more important. But I was like, I think they kept her in. I mean, mostly for because it's Catwoman or whatever. But like, I think they were trying to play off of the year one storyline for Batman. And yeah, I think they were just trying to do something like that, or maybe not like year one,
What it
because
was
it
what
was
like year
like,
two? Because he had said he'd been doing it for 1 year, but like they still wanted like the whole
yeah,
rookie Batman angle for the movie.
yeah, which was great. Which I need to talk about the choreography and like the writing that they did for Batman, which is the thing that I was most worried about because they don't make him super busted in this movie. Like he makes a lot of mistakes.
There's only one thing I want to complain about in this entire regard is that I still find it absolute bullshit. His entire suit is bulletproof and just guns are meaningless against him,
Oh yeah, how they're all hitting center mass
and
and
he's not flinching.
it's impervious and he takes a bomb, like spoiler, he takes a bomb straight to the face. Straight to the
Damn.
face,
Okay.
like the point of impact is probably like in between his sternum and his direct face.
Jeez.
And he gets knocked out, right? But but like he still survives. I'm like there's no way. Like
Like even if his
people
mask could protect him, the bottom half of his face is not masked up. Like there's
well
nothing there.
not only that, right? So he not only would he be have lost his bottom face, right? Like anyone who knows anything about like high explosives or like even like EOD people, it's like they go in with the EOD vests and the full body suits, not to protect them from the blast, but so their body is still intact when they scoop them up, pretty much. Because the trauma from that blast will cause so much internal damage that it kills you. Like you get ruptured and you die. And I'm just like, damn, the only thing protecting this guy is his fucking suit. And I'm like, there's no way in hell that he didn't like bust everything in his insides. Like,
You're forgetting one crucial detail here.
oh my bad. He's Batman.
Thank you.
He's Batman. Sorry, he's vengeance.
I was waiting for the scream. Where is she? At some point in this movie,
Where is
they
he?
wouldn't give us the meme.
Which I'm surprised.
Does he do the cringy Batman voice?
It's not. So
It's
here's
not
the thing. It's not cringy. It's like
He does
Okay.
it well.
Right,
Robert
that's fine.
Pattinson was good.
If it's
Yeah,
good,
Robert
it's
Pattinson was
good. That's fine. As long as it's not like I'm Batman.
No, he
Yeah.
he didn't need a throat lozenge to do this role. He did it well.
Okay.
Also my other thing is I'm like, you know what? This is a more believable Bruce Wayne. Like he's just a sad like, yo, I hate everything. Like this whole city's fucked up. Like, and what I do love about this movie compared to like the other ones is that it's like a mild. It's not actually I wouldn't say it's a spoiler. It has nothing to do with the plot, but like they bring up like pretty blaringly that like, hey, listen, like you're here, like Batman being here in Gotham is not good. Like you're causing more problems than you think you're fixing everything, but you're not. You're actually causing more problems just being here and doing what you do. And like at the end, like he doesn't even acknowledge it. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, this is actually Batman. Like Batman will do so many gymnastics to like prove that he is not doing like,
Not the
and
bad guy.
yeah, like and they
Yeah.
took that from the Tom King run, I think. Like they've acknowledged it like every so often, like with Hush and like the Hush storyline and like the recent Tom King run and especially like he really drove into that in the narrative. But they added this and I'm like, whoa, like maybe people will actually start thinking about if Batman's like really a hero or not, and that he's actually just a crazy person.
I mean, a sociopath suffering from past traumas.
If the shoe,
Not out of the realm of possibility there, huh?
if the bat glove fits,
Yeah, I feel like I don't know, man. I would be okay with seeing an anti-hero Batman instead of a hero Batman.
oh, there is kind of. It's not
Or
Bruce Wayne though.
I mean as like a a mainline thing though.
Oh yeah, I mean he kind of is. He's kind of a character now. Thomas Wayne,
Who the fuck is Thomas Wayne?
his dad, my dude. Come on, don't you even
But
fucking
he
watch
was
Batman?
supposed to be dead.
So here's the thing. So in Flashpoint,
Oh,
okay,
no.
when the Flash
Here we go. Here we
wanted
go.
to figure out who killed his mom, he wanted to revive his mom. So he's like, "Oh, I know. I'll go back in time. I'll save her, and this is gonna be a good time, right?" And wrong. So what happens is Bruce dies in this alternate timeline. Well, a lot of things happen in this alternate timeline, but like the main thing is Bruce dies from the gunman, and Thomas and Martha Wayne, they split up. And like Thomas Wayne, I'm like, oh, this is kind of dope. Like he literally just becomes the Punisher version of Batman. Like he's got guns and like he's just rich Punisher. It's awesome.
Rich
Uh,
Punisher. Wow.
he literally he just goes around Gotham. He's like, I'm gonna cure this city one bullet at a time. And then Martha
Yeah,
Wayne is
I want
like,
that. I want that. Can we
I
have that?
know. What we do, it's called the Punisher.
No, I want Batman Punisher. I want Rich Punisher.
True, I also want Rich Punisher. Oh, and then Martha Wayne becomes the Joker. That's the only downside to that.
That's the
What?
only downside.
It's really fucking
Only what?
stupid.
I remember hearing about this one.
Yeah, it's really
Okay,
dumb.
well, you know what? With that, I think I'm done.
Wait, no, one more thing. I
All
gotta
right,
bring
so
up one
thank
more
you all
topic.
so
though.
much for listening.
No,
Wait,
the
wait, hold on. Yeah,
Batmobile.
we haven't even talked about the Batmobile. It's the best part of the fucking movie.
No, it's the worst.
No!
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. It literally ruined it for me when he's like, yo, I'm the Knight. I am Shadows. Like, freaking villains are scared of me. And then and like I never thought of it. In my how old am I? I'm 30. In my 25 years of watching Batman and like reading Batman lore, why has it never come across to me that why would Batman, who is basically the most badass ninja, who's trained in the League of Assassins, have the loudest fucking car imaginable? Like,
I mean,
it
you're
never
right.
dawned on me.
Nah, bro, you're right. He should be driving a Tesla, actually.
He should be driving a Tesla, and like it's been like this since 1963. It's literally been like this. Like every car he has is the flashiest, loudest car.
He
And
comes
like,
and drives to a central location.
Now,
and
to
does
be
his
fair-
shit from there.
To be fair,
to be fair, what?
he only ever calls
boy.
his vehicle or does anything with his vehicle when shit's either already hot or to get to where shit is going to be hot.
Get to where?
But he's got so many other things. He has so many other things that he could use, but he doesn't because it has to
mean-
be the
I was
Batmobile.
about to say, in his defense, he had another vehicle used, but his motorcycle's also not quiet at all.
No, it's
I
not.
would be down to have Spider Batman where he's just zipping around with his grappling hook instead of instead of driving around or
In the comics, he's got like a whole setup that he had been working on for fucking years, like a whole transit system that he was going to exploit to like get from place to place, like like fucking
What, you-
Evangelion.
You mean he has his own subway?
Like his
Well,
underground deploy stations that he can just pop
yeah.
up when he needs.
Yeah.
How does he keep that shit quiet?
He-
What
well-
what contractor is he hiring that's keeping that quiet?
It's not even that he
something,
has a contractor.
something-
It's the city's so decayed that no one is able to check up on all the shit downstairs to realize, hey, like Wayne Enterprise owns a lot of these strange unlicensed underground buildings.
Yeah,
Well,
true.
yeah, they
True.
just kind of market to like, oh hey, like Wayne Enterprise, yeah, they own the city. Whatever, who gives a shit? Like,
But
The
don't
city's
question it.
corrupt.
They're always doing stuff underground.
Yeah, you'd think they would have put two and two together, right? After a while, it's like, man, you don't see Bruce Wayne and Batman in the same place, and and like, there's just all this shit around town. You'd think that someone, or there'd be some kind of plot of like someone coming around and being like, "Yo, Wayne Enterprises owns a lot of shit in this town," and yet, and yet,
I
yeah, I don't know.
mean, Superman takes off his glasses and nobody fucking recognizes him.
Oh, that's different though. Like his is a very personal thing where it's like it's limited to the Daily Planet and that's it. We're talking about an entire infrastructure where like Bruce has like he literally has control over. And they even bring it up in the movie that like, hey, you have all these resources. Why don't you like pay for shit? And he's like, I'm vengeance. Like which I like why I like this movie a lot, and I pointed it out to Michelle. It's like it's saying things that other Batman media hasn't said until Tom King said it. And I can almost guarantee you whoever wrote this movie looked at like all the Batman stuff and read Tom King stuff and was like, yeah, why aren't we asking these questions? Thanks for coming to my TED Talk
Well,
on why Batman is shit.
All right, my last
4 out of
Last
5.
Well,
Batman shit.
Tyler's right. The Batmobile's way too fucking loud. That was the best part of the movie. I saw this thing in IMAX and felt my seat rumbling during that chase scene. I like throwing out all logic. It was entertaining to watch, and I love that part of it. That was all I want to say about that.
Oh, it was good. I love that scene. It was
All
good.
right, now we're done.
Alrighty, I think that's it then. So that was a lot to get through. Hopefully, we'll be back in 2 weeks without having to round
Recap
up
an entire month worth of news.
worth of content that we enjoyed. But we'll still be playing Elden Ring probably. But until then,
I will be.
I know I will be. But until next time, thank you all so much for listening. My name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just Tyler.
Lord of Frenzied Flame.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.